everybody, thanks for joining me today. I'm so excited to be here with you and to show you how to make this cute little Santa satchel. Now, I have made several versions of this, and now I'm on my fourth one right now, so I've got it down pretty good. And I'm very excited to show you some different techniques and things that I use to kind of change it up a little bit, make it a little simpler, and let's jump in and start talking about it. Now, if you see me working on two different styles of bags, we had a little technical difficulty, so we're just refilming this first portion of it, and we'll jump into the last half of it. So don't let that throw you off. It's all the same. I just wanted to show you from the very beginning. So let me jump in and talk to you about what I used. I used a jelly roll for this one, and I used some fabric that inspired me for this one. And I'm going to talk to you about the different techniques that I did to make it a little different. This one is a little taller, so you could use it as a lunch bag. You could use it just as a little purse. It doesn't matter. Whatever you wanted, and it's so simple to make and so easy. And I used scraps because I wanted to use up some of the scraps. I have a lot of fabric here, and it's time to start using up all those little scrappy pieces. So I picked out the jelly roll because I had a couple of them, and they're 2.5 inches wide by the width of fabric, and that's what a jelly roll is. And it's got various colors, and they're coordinated, and so that made it very easy for me just to pick and choose the different colors for this little bag here. This one right here, I just had a lot of Christmas fabric, and so I just picked out 4 colors that I really liked, and I cut them in 2.5-inch strips. So either or works really well. Let me show you the techniques that I used, and you can choose what you want to do. Okay, so for this one, I just sewed my strips together, okay? And then I laid them on my batting, and I sewed along the seam, okay? So you can do it that way. You can sew, it needs to be about 15 by 13 wide, okay? So make sure that you're doing enough strips to accomplish that. But then I have my strip quilting method, and that's what I did here. So I started on the batting, I put one on top, and then I overlaps right sides together, so I'm sewing across, and I just used my machine and I sewed across. And that's what you'll do, so you're eliminating the step of you putting it on the batting and then sewing across. So you can do it either way. And on this bag, I did it both versions. This one right here was the strip quilt way. You can see I didn't sew into the seam. And this one right here, I'm just showing you what I did sew across and tack it down in the seam. So I sewed all these together, then put it on the fabric, put it on the batting, and then put my interfacing on. So I will go through and show you that step. So you will need interfacing. I just think it helps to stabilize it. Now, if you have a little thicker, foamier batting, or I don't know what they call it, foam, that you use for bags, you really will still need this, just to stabilize it a little bit more. And this is iron-on, and it's a little pellon, and it's very soft. So this bag has a little bit of give to it, which is fine. If you want it a little stiffer, use a little stiffer line, fusible interfacing. You do you, and I'll do me. That's what makes the world go round. Okay, so then after you have gotten all your strips sewn together with your on your batting and your fusible interfacing ironed on, you are going to cut along with your lining 15 wide by 13 tall. Squares or rectangles is what we are going to call them. After you've done all that, we're going to make these the same size. You're going to take your little square ruler. I used my 6.5 by 6.5 inch square ruler, and you're going to have them laid on top of each other, and on each corner you're going to measure 2.5 inches in, mark or cut, and you're going to cut out this little section on each of all 4 corners, on the lining and on the bag itself. Okay, after you've done all that, let's talk about the bag straps, okay? So I used 2.5 inch wide for this one by the width of fabric, and I'm just using this cute green here. And I sewed 2 of them together, and then I ironed them out. I pulled them right sides out and ironed them so they lay nice and flat. And now I'm going to sew them to it. But I also had a little pocket here. So let me show you how I did the pocket. I kind of changed it up. So the pocket is 10.5 inches long by 5.5 inches wide. What I did is I sewed it together to make it a circle, and then I moved my seam so it was down just a little bit, pulled it right sides out, and now this seam we want facing towards the back so it's not showing. And then I made my little marks. I measured about 1/4 inch in, so that's where I'm going to line up the edge of my pocket. And you'll notice that right down here on my outer piece that I'm going to be using, I marked the center of it. So I'm going to fold the pocket and see the center of my pocket. And then you'll notice right here, I have a distinct line, okay, going across. This little flap right here is going to be how I'm going to measure it. And I just want to make sure that I've lined my center with my center, all right? And then I'll pin it into place so it's stabilizing it. And then I can put my straps on each side, pin them down, and sew them. You'll also notice that on my straps here, okay, so this pocket didn't go down a little further, okay. So you'll notice also that I've made little marks. This is my little X, just stabilize the handle like you do. You see them, they have the little X. So I measured right here at the bottom, and I measured 1.5 inches up and made another measurement right up here, and then I will just sew the X in there. And so that's how I did the pockets and the straps. And very easy, it'll come together really quick, and you'll just sew. I would sew up to the top on each side, and then start sewing across here. And then I sewed right across the bottom right here just to stabilize the pocket even a little bit more. So that's how you'll do the pocket, and I have a finished one on this one here. So I want to show you what I did, okay. So this is what it looks like. Cute. Very easy to do, and then I just cut off the excess. Okay, so then I'm going to put the handle of the bag inside the pocket. So now I can sew my zipper in place, okay? So I'm going to place my zipper, okay? We're going to place it like this. So you're going to place your lining right side up, okay? Then you're going to also place your zipper on top of it, right side up. That's what I did here. I'll take these pins out so you can see. So the lining is right side up, okay? And so is my zipper. And I opened it up just slightly so that I could sew past it. I'm going to line it up. I'm going to put as many pins as I want to make me feel comfortable so it will hold it stable. Then you're going to put your top with the handle in the pocket because you don't want it to sew up into the zipper. Then you're going to line it up and pin there. Okay. So the other thing I want to remind you of is to make sure that you pin the bottom of the lining to it so it's not going to fold up inside and you sew it inside the zipper or it gets caught up in there. So if you'll do those things, you'll be good to go. And you can see me finish off the rest of it in this little second half. And so, thanks. All right, notice when I was applying the zipper, my little easiest way of doing it is moving past the little head part and starting there, and then I will open it up and pin it really good and then sew across there. So that's how I do it. I know you guys have lots of ways that you do it as well. So any tips and tricks, hey, are very welcome. Notice I'm pulling all my pins out as I'm going.
Now I think I'm going to turn it around and come back the other direction, and I can open it up. All right. As I'm sewing, just to kind of make it nice and even. And it'll give me a more even look to my zipper if I'll do that, if I turn it back. Okay, so now into this part, I'm going to come in and I'm going to open up my zipper. Okay, and move past that part that I've done. And I'm going to do this on the other side as well. I'll pull my needle out of my thread up. Okay. And then I want to make these nice and long. Now I'm going to open it up, move it back past my spot, and then continue back this direction. And I'm sewing all the way down. There we go. Ah. 1/2 of our zipper is done. Going to open it up and let's iron and press, and then we'll do our top stitching to pull everything out of the way. Just like that, go across the top. So I'm going to quickly iron. And iron it out of the way. I'm going to do a top stitch across it. Let me sew my zipper on the other side, and then we'll do both the top stitches, because I'll put my other foot back on to make sure that it's nice and secure and I'm getting the right stitch length using my foot. So let me get the other side sewed on, and we're going to do the same process. Okay. See, my zipper looks pretty dang good. Now I can top stitch. There we go. That's one. So we're going to take our little pieces, we're going to sew them right here to the end. I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to cut off that. I'm going to place this so it's on the inside, and I'm going to pin it into place, okay? Because I'm going to go up around it, and I want it to be sewn in to it. And thank goodness I have a little rebel that can sew through all those layers. It's fabulous. And I wish I had the little clips, but I don't, so I'm going to do one layer at a time. And I've got to make sure that I remember that I have pins in this direction. So I'll probably sew it down first and then do the other side. And I'm going to unzip my zipper, make sure I pull everything together and do the other side. Okay. So let me get this done. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, that works. There we go. All right, now let's sew them together. This is what we're going to do. Now you can unpin. Make sure that you unzip your zipper because we're going to pull it through, okay? So we're going to do this side first, and all the way across right here. We're going to leave an opening in the lining, okay? And then that opening will be when we pull it through, and then we'll do our little side pieces. So after we're done with this, so let me get these sewn up. I'm going to just keep going and sew this side together because I can clip them. And then keep going. To sew along the bottom of the lining. And I'm going to remember to leave my opening. You only need it so much, and then I'm going to jump ahead to make sure you do your back stitch. I'm going to whip stitch it closed. I feel like that's going to be big enough. Now I'm going to go up my side and down the other side. Okay, so now I'm going to go down this side. Right here. I'm going to pull it out of the way. Come on. Okay, now we're going to do our corners really quick. You're going to open your corners up just like this. You're going to line them up. So this is the bottom of the bag because it's not with the zipper. So I'm just going to sew straight across, lining it up and making that, that sits. So it looks like a little duffel bag. Do that side. All right, so they'll look like that. So just pull it right side out. Remember, we left our zipper open, and that was the reason that we did, so we could pull it right side out. And you can see the little bag coming together. I'll have to whip stitch my opening, and then we're going to pull it this direction and sew in our side pieces so that they work correctly. All right, and there you have your bag, and we'll put our little strap on it and call it good. So I'll be right back after I finish everything up. Here it is, our little Christmas satchel, okay? Kind of looks like a little lunch bag. Now I could see it filled with Santa's goodies. I could see it filled with, I don't know, lots of different things. Hershey's Kisses, if you love that special someone. They could have a little bag to go with them. Even a neighbor. It really doesn't take you that long to make this. And it's just a fun, cute little project. We have the little side pockets for them to put their little toothbrush in if you want to make it an overnight bag. Lots of different ways. Now you'll put the long strap on if you want to. I think it's kind of fun this way, you know, but it's all yours. You do you, and you can put it on a couple different ways because we do have these little grommets here. So you could sew it on using the strap only and putting it up through, or you could use these little clips. So have a very Merry Christmas and a happy Thanksgiving holiday. Wishing you the very best. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope that everything is well with you and your family, because family is so important this time of year. Please take care. Bye-bye.